You guys asked for funny cases, so I'm gonna bring you another funny case here. This is a case of a 30-something-year-old woman that came in by ambulance, and she was complaining of, I can't find my vibrator. No, this is a true story. She was at home, she could not locate her vibrator, and so she called 911. I mean, we've all been there, right? So anyways, I go talk to this lady, and I'm like, well, do you remember where you left the vibrator? And she was like, no. I wanted to be like, did you check the couch cushions? Did you? So I asked her, I was like, well, where did you last put it? And she couldn't really answer it. I'm like, did you insert it vaginally or rectally? And she's like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm like, okay. All right. So I'm like, is this something that has metal in it somehow? Like, well, I have a manual. My husband's in the waiting room and he has the manual. Holy cow, this thing's like battery operated. She has this manual and this thing connects to the phone, and I'm like, okay, great. So lo and behold, we get an x-ray and I don't see anything. And you would think that if something was metallic and had battery operated, etc., we should be able to see this on an x-ray. The hard part for her was her heart rate was like 150, very high heart rate. And anytime you're having like abdominal pain and you have an elevated heart rate, bad things can happen, perforations, things like that. So maybe she had inserted something. I don't know, patients do weird things before they come see us in the hospital. So at this point, I have to go the extra mile, and I do end up doing a CAT scan. Thankfully, the CAT scan was negative, and I'm like, man, her heart rate's still pretty high. So I go in there and I talk to her. I'm like, listen, we've done an x-ray, we've done a CAT scan. There's nothing inside of you that doesn't belong there. And she was just like, oh, thank God. And you could just see this sigh of relief come over her, and immediately her heart rate came down. And you know what's interesting about anxiety is usually when people are super anxious about something, the heart rate eventually does come down once they're able to, like, you know, self-soothe and calm themselves down and realize that they're doing okay, they're okay, they're fine. But for this lady, she was so anxious about this whole situation that her heart rate was super high until we told her that everything was fine, and then it just kind of came back down to normal. So I ended up discharging her. No harm, no foul. Good luck. Read the whole manual next time before you use it. I'm sure there's somewhere in that manual that says do not insert this and then forget if you did. Again, I'm no resident expert on shoving things inside my body, but I'd like to think that if I did, I would remember, or at least remember where I put that thing. But hey, to each his own. All right, guys, have a great day. Cheers.